Hey, good morning, and welcome back to another Jedi Academy. I'm Ranger J 1999, your host, and welcome to the Jedi Academy. If you're wondering what the hell is the Jedi Academy, well, that's where we bring the best and the brightest of YouTubers and game changers and breakfast cereals and Finns and Borgs all together to form the council that will answer all your questions. This is a Q&A show, and all you need to do is basically put your questions if you have questions about the game, and we will disseminate those questions to the panel for their wonderful knowledge and things of that nature. How do you get a question in? Just put in there. It is what else running through my nose is still stuffed up. I see your question there, young man. I am kind of operating a little bit on my own. Finn is running around doing stuff for the charity and things of that nature, and try to get breakfast, and is meeting a friend, so he's a little bit out of commission at the moment. He should be here in a little bit. It's my allergies, guys. Just get off me. I can't help it. Let me get some more coffee here. Hold on. Coffee. No.
I think Grim got us sick.
No, it's allergies. It's the change in temperature. I go out, I go work out. I run, I come back in. It's hot as balls inside the house, and it's just it kills me, dude. Plus the allergies on top of that. Ugh, I hate. I love this time of year because it's Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
I love Christmas, but I hate the weather. It really f's with me. I wake up in the morning like ah ah ah.
Oh man, I know what you mean. I'm so stuffy right now, and it just came overnight. I was feeling great yesterday, and now I'm just like, ugh.
And I don't take any allergy pills or anything like that. I just deal with it, So nothing I can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's the law of the land, and by the law of the land, I mean Mother Nature. Zyla, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. Just got the day off today, and got little man's birthday party later.
That's right. My apprentice has turned one. He's reached the age of ascension for the Sith.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to see him smash some cake later. And
yeah, for those who don't know, I am Uncle Sidious for Xylo's child. I am the Godfather, Uncle Sidious, Emperor, and he is my apprentice. And I made sure Xylo has a little black robe for him. And yeah.
Yeah, Ranger's dark side mentor right now.
That's right. I make sure he first chokes his father 7 times a day. It's important.
He does too. It's crazy.
Warrior will not be on today. Hold on, I'm responding to something. I did not know that. All right. We do also have with us. It's been a while since he's been on, but we're glad to have him. I'm sorry. Happy birthday, Nukin, too. Zylo, we forgot. As your apprentice
Nukin's like almost 1,000.
I think he's like Doctor Who age now. He's like 2,000 years old or something. It's all weird with the timey-wimey, spacey-wacy kind of stuff. So, yeah.
That's fair.
But we also joined us for the first time in a while. We have Remon, the artist formerly known as Ramon Azab. I like to call him Remon because that's what I've always called him. And he never corrected me, so screw that hippie. Remon, what's going on, buddy? And apparently Remon is having technical difficulties. Son of a... Oh, that sucks.
Skype, man. It's got to be Skype.
We're moving to a new platform very soon, guys. We're in the works of actually making that happen. So, can't wait. Cannot freaking wait. So, just you and me right now, Zylo. I don't know where the rest of the guys are. It's that time of year. It's Christmas shopping. It's everything. Remon, if you can hear us and you can speak, just speak when you can, brother. And we'll take it from there. But go ahead and get your questions in. I will be monitoring. I'm doing everything today, Zylo, again, because Finn has to have a life and go do crap, So I have to do everything. I swear.
Well, yeah, it's me and you. We got this. I'm sure Remon will pop in soon.
I know, right? We don't. T Money's probably just waking up and like Man, I haven't.
I'm here.
All right, there he is.
Hey,
Yay! We weren't hearing you,
what's up,
buddy.
brother?
Hey, what's going on?
All right, Remon's here. We got coffee. We got breakfast sandwiches. We're ready to rock and roll. Um, and then I'm sure Team Money, Dash, and then will show up once they realize that they overslept again. And by them, I mean Team Money. She's probably just recovering and waking up and having coffee and maple syrup, and said, "Oh, I have an hour before the Jedi Academy starts. I'm good to go." Little does she know, it's already started. But I'll get her later. So this week we got a lot of big announcements. We talked about on the Wednesday stream. Remo, we've got C-3PO coming. We know the Ewoks are going to be needed for that. We got Grand Arena. I want to talk about Grand Arena. So Grand Arena launches yesterday. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah. It sounds like there's some bugs, and I guess we all got first place reward. Did you guys get rewards?
Yes.
For the okay, yeah. So, I guess we all got first place rewards for it. So, I mean, but the one thing that was kind of interesting to me was that the rewards didn't seem too fantastic. Now, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just for the first round. So we didn't get for the whole entire thing, right? So I mean, we'll have to see what that's like. But it seems bugged, and I'm kind of. Did we all know it was going to be 6 teams that you have to put in there?
I don't think they mentioned how many specific teams were going to be for defense and offense, and I think it's very much associated with what your GP is, right? Because some people that had a certain GP only had 6.
Yeah.
I had 7. Some people had 8.
I had to put on 7 too. Yeah.
I only had to put in. I think I had to put in 6, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3.
That's a lot. That's a lot of teams to put in on defense. I
thought about. I put some good teams on defense, but the others I was like, and I basically put some crappy teams on defense. I kept the best teams for offense, because I don't really care.
Yeah. I felt like I put all the best teams on defense, and then I was literally sitting there and I was thinking to myself like what am I going to have to beat this person, and I guess it's a strategy thing. You're going to hope that they don't have a Revan, you know what I mean, or something like that, or and that's kind of what the roll of the dice is going to be there, but if I'm assuming you're going to be using relatively similar teams to what you're using in TW.
I'm treating it like TW because this is a mini TW. It was kind of disappointing in that regard. It's like, yeah, it's my roster specifically, but it really is just a mini territory wars. You're facing against other players, so instead of as a group, it's just condensed into one-on-one action. So I mean that's cool in a sense that you're facing 1v1, but to me it's like a mini territory war. I'm like, it kind of lost a little bit of a luster for that. I don't know how you guys felt, kind of looking at like, oh, it's just a mini TW.
I mean, I had fun with it, and I like the concept of it, and the rewards. I'm looking forward to seeing what more rewards we can get. Another thing I noticed, too, is that when the matches were restarting, right, you weren't getting rewards per victory either, too, right? So every time you'd win a match, it would give you the error code and then restart the game, so you weren't even getting any rewards out of that either. So it was kind of disappointing to see like how it was bugged, but I mean with a new game mode like that, you're expecting kind of things. So yeah, we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll give it another shot here, and
I was really hoping that they were going to include some sort of character rewards for Grand Arena, and
maybe they will.
Yeah. I like that thrill of the chase, and I'm sure it will at some point, or even a store aspect or currency, right?
That would really, yeah, maybe characters in the store, kind of like what they did with Hermit Yoda and Wampa. That would be interesting. It kind of adds to the to like the fuel for you to like want to do the game mode. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's just gear pieces and like mod pieces. I don't know. I feel it's a little less intriguing, in my opinion. I mean, I feel
It's
like that.
another way to get gear and stuff. Just for participating, you'll get stuff. So I mean,
If you want to get me excited about something, though, you got to give me a character in shards. I mean, like even if it's like Forlom, just give me something. You know what I mean?
oh my god, I'm getting those Zobot pieces I was missing.
I do like the mod salvage though.
Yeah, the mod salvage is cool. I mean, you know, it's hey, mod salvage is a pain in the ass to get and farm. So any extra pieces that we can get is okay in my book. Um, so we got Grand Arena. We getting ready for how's everybody's Ewoks looking? Mine are about to be. They're all gear 10 except for Chirpa, who I'm about to take to gear 10. He'll be gear 10, and then I'm gonna start taking them to 11. So I should have a good amount of my Ewoks to gear 11 before the event starts. I'm hoping next week. Um, it's really getting those damn black gold pieces for these guys to take them to gear 11. So I'm gonna have at least 4 of them to gear 11 by the time the event starts. Hopefully, how are your guys' Ewoks looking?
I'm actually. I just got Wicket and Ewok Scout to gear 12.
Oh, you're really good.
I have Ewok Elder at gear 10, and I have Chirpa at gear 9, and I have Paplu at gear 8. So I still have a lot of work to do, but I mean it's mainly on the back end. So I need to have. I'd say by the time the event starts, I'll probably have Ewok Elder
He's not
and
too bad.
Chirpa. I'd say probably around gear 11. So I'll probably be at like gear 11 with Chirpa, gear 12 with Ewok Elder, and then I'll probably have Paplu at like gear 9, gear 10, and I may need to invest a little bit that last day to get some gear for him. But listen, I also have like 5 Zetas just banked. So if I really need to slap a Zeta on one of them to like help win, I could do that too. Not that I really want to do that, but I was considering the one on I was considering the one on Wicket, to be honest with you.
Actually, I would Chirpa lead. It makes sense. It's the best Zeta in my opinion. I mean, the other Zeta's okay, but I
Yeah,
think I think that having a Zeta on Chirpa is really going to make a difference.
that does make a lot of sense. So I mean, yeah, I'll probably consider that one. I haven't decided. I didn't do it yet because I was like kind of just waiting until the last minute to make that decision. But yeah, I mean, it depends on how difficult it is. I mean, we don't know yet. I mean, I have a
No,
feeling it's going to be really hard.
I think it's gonna be hard, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be bounty hunter hard like we had with Chewbacca. That was crazy
Ooh.
difficult. I
I
think it's gonna be
mhm.
one notch just below that.
I think it'll be that hard, but at the same time, like one thing people are kind of overlooking is that if you do have Elder's got that revive mechanic, and you have a way to call him to stealth, right? You know what I mean with the
Oh yeah,
Ewoks, so he
yep.
has so much survivability. He's gonna be like Dengar times like 100 on steroids. He's gonna keep bringing those Ewoks back even at a lower gear level, and maybe even get away with doing it without the Zeta on Chirpa. I'm going to try to. Anyways, I have that one Zeta bank just in case I need to. But overall, I mean, the survivability of the team and the mechanics of the team, it's going to make it feel like a cakewalk. If you've, got a little experience playing with your Ewoks, and even if you have Logray too, as opposed to, Scout or Tebow, it's gonna be easy. I mean, I put a couple of the extra Omegas on today,
Yeah,
and
I got all the
I think it's
Omegas
going to be
done.
great.
Well,
Yeah,
It's going to be great.
that's actually an interesting conversation. What do you think are the 5 that you should be
Oh,
rolling with?
yeah. Chirpa, Logray, Paplu, Elder, and Wicket. Yeah. And then if you don't have a good either Wicket or Elder, Scout is the 6th I would put in, like the following one.
You see,
And
I don't know.
I went a different way.
I
well, again,
personally,
the
I personally
revive.
think, I personally
Sorry,
think
go ahead.
I personally think that I agree with you 100% on the revive with Elder.
Mm-hmm.
I personally think that you get a lot more damage out of Scout. Scout's the real damage dealer.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Sorry.
So I mean, I feel like there's and Paplu. I was deciding whether I was going to go Paplu or Logray, and I still haven't really 100% made that decision because I haven't started gearing either of them yet, really. But
Pablo.
they're both. But Paplu, I think, is the right call because he's the tank, right?
Yes.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
he's like the engine. Yeah.
so I think in my opinion, it's Chirpa, Ewok Elder, Ewok Scout, Wicket, Paplu.
Yeah, see,
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
went. I mean, I went. I'm going Chirpa, Wicket, Elder, Low Gray. Not, or low, yeah. Wait, who am I going? God damn! Now I have to look. Like, wait a minute. What am I doing here?
I like the one that Loki was recommending the other day, the one without Elder, like
Yeah, he wants to go full.
replacing Elder with Scout. Yeah, because the combo, like Remon was just saying, Scout hits like a truck, and then if you do that call to assist with Scout, he's gaining turn meter, he's reducing turn meter, and then that 1-2 punch is like the strongest two Ewoks in the whole faction, so they're gonna hit as
Yeah, I'm going.
hard as possible.
I'm doing Chirpa, Tebow, Wicket, Paplu, and Elder. And the reason I'm going that
Nice.
route is because, Tebow can take away turn meter, Wicket could speed up and do a lot of hits, and then I'm just going to have, Chirpa do his thing, Elder do his thing, keep the stuff off them, and Paplu's just tanking the whole time. I mean, I'm sorry to farm Logray. He's 5-star. Now, my scout is 7 stars. I could easily take him up, but I'll wait and see how it goes. So I've got some options in case that doesn't work. But like right now, I could take Elder to gear 11 and be done with him, but I want to finish Chirpa to gear 10 first. I'm kind of going at this, get him to gear 10, then I'll take him to gear 11, then I'll try to get as many as I can to gear 12. I don't think I'll have enough time and stuff. See how the raids go and the rewards, but yeah. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to some questions, shall we? Let me see here. Pulling those up. Keep getting your questions in, guys. We're going to get to them. We'll start with you, Remon. It's been a while since you've been here, so we'll let you start off first.
I'm ready.
Well, Red 5 had kind of the same question. He says, okay, so it got cut off. That's why. Okay, so question for Red 5. Question: How soon do you all think Jedi Luke will be coming to the game? Chewbacca and C-3PO seem to indicate he'll be here next year sometime. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that C-3PO is going to be part of that event. So I think that you'll need that character to be part of the hero's journey. I do feel like it's going to be next year. I don't think it'll be in the beginning of the year. I do think that they're not going to do it in January. I think in February they're going to do something similar to what they did every year the last couple of years, where they probably add another Sith or Knights of the Old Republic character. So I think that they'll probably add either that's when we'll get that event for the KOTOR characters, like like Darth Malak or something,
Mm-hmm.
or we'll get somebody, just somebody else that's random that I'm not thinking of. But I also think that if it's going to happen, it's probably going to be like second quarter to like summertime, like somewhere around the summertime.
Yeah, I think
next
it'll be
year.
end of summer, beginning of third quarter, because you made a great point about the Sith rerun, and then fourth quarter next year is all going to be about the new Star Wars movie.
Right. They're not going to go into that Star Wars movie without heavy promotion. Bear in mind that the last two movies have kind of flopped for them.
Well, financially they haven't. Well, Solo flopped, but
Yeah.
Last Jedi, you can hate that movie all you want. It made almost what $1.6 billion. That's not a bad. That's really good.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. I don't mean it flopped. What I'm saying is that there was a lot of controversy around that
Yes,
movie,
that's very true.
and then whether you like it or not, there was a lot of controversy around that one. And then Solo came out, and that kind of flopped. And I think that had something to do with the controversy from Last Jedi, in
Yeah,
addition to
on top
in
of
addition to
everything
the
else.
on top of everything else. So I feel like they're going to do like a lot of promotion for Last Jedi to try to ensure that they have success with that film. So I think that they're going to use Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes as kind of a platform to do that. So I think that we're going to start to get characters or promotions in game for that movie probably right after the summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think we're going to get a teaser trailer
So
here soon about
so
the new movie.
so if they're going to fit a Jedi Luke event in there in order to segue into, let's say, an old man Luke event like the following year, I
Hmm.
think I think it'll probably happen around summertime.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah,
July, August timeframe.
yeah.
All right, next question for you, Xylo, from Billy Gunn. Question: when will we see the kit for C3PO?
Well, Revan was like what, a day, 2 days before the event, right? So
Sure.
I'd say at least 3, 4 days at most. And we've been speculating it's coming out next Friday, the 14th, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Remon, you think it's another day?
Do I think it's going to be a different day? I think the 14th makes a lot of
Okay.
sense. And yeah, I think that we're looking at typically 2 weeks from when they announce something.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Real
mean,
good.
it's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it.
All right, next question from Acheron. Oh, Jesus. Grandus, oh God, he's affecting me, Xylo. Oh God. Oh no. Then I need more coffee. Hold on, let me get some more coffee here. The nectar of the gods. Acheron has a question, Remon question. What's the fastest way to farm low grade? Is refreshing the guild store better than buying from shipments? What do you think, Remon? If you're talking, Remon, you're on mute, buddy.
Sorry. Yeah, well, that's actually good. I was on mute there. I'm sorry. That actually is a good question. I think that's. I mean, obviously, you're going to want to speed it up, but I think that there's always that chance that log ray isn't 100% when you refresh, right?
Oh
You don't
no,
necessarily.
one. I see him 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3. He's not in there as much
Yeah,
as the other ones.
very occasional.
But I'm not even. I don't even care. I'm focusing on gear on the characters I do have. I'm like, should I farm low grade? But if you are, I wouldn't refresh. It's what, 25 to refresh.
I don't necessarily think that there's other Ewoks. I don't necessarily think you have to have log
No.
ray.
Mm-mm.
I agree that he's a great character, and if there's a choice that you're making, you're gonna want to decide out of some of those characters. I would say that you definitely want to decide which 5 you're going to go for that are attainable for you or easiest to get, and then kind of roll with that. But I think that the best bet is to again, I don't know what your situation is, but in my personal opinion, I think that if you're dead set on getting log ray, I don't think refreshing is going to be the best way to go. That's so random that you're really going to be risking. It's going to get really expensive, quick too.
Yeah,
So
don't do it.
yeah, I would go another route, and I would go for other Ewoks. There's so many other Ewoks that are so much easier to get. The only problem is I think Scout's just still a hard node.
Yeah, you get them out of bronziums too a lot. Actually, I
Yeah.
mean, I finished his farms from bronziums. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten the 80 count shard drops out of those
I mean,
packs.
Paplu's a Cantina farm.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
I would
he's
definitely.
easy.
I
Yeah,
would get.
and you can get them out of the store in the guild too as
Plus, you
well.
get from all the Ewok events. You get tons of shards from there. I mean, pretty much all. I haven't farmed low grade at all. All the shards I've gotten have been from the events, and he's almost 6 stars.
Okay.
I've not farmed him out of there at all.
Yeah.
So I mean, you get them in different areas and stuff, but yeah, I don't think it's worth refreshing. I don't think it's worth the crystals. There's plenty of other Ewoks. I think you need to focus on gear. This is going to be a
Okay.
gear check, not so much which Ewoks you have. I think if you're 10, almost 11 on your characters, you should be fine. Definitely gear 11 is what I think is going to be, not 12 like the last event, but I still think you're going to need 11
Okay.
to beat this event. But that's where I think the focus needs to be on is take your 5 best Ewoks, get them to gear 11, and you should be okay. If you're trying to farm all the Ewoks and just like low grade last second, I think you're hurting your because the guild store's got too much gear in there that you need for these Ewoks. You talk about Carbonte, stun cuffs, stun guns. I mean, those are big pieces. And then when you get them from 10, then you're looking at gear turned to 11, and then you need the black gold pieces and the black other ones,
Right,
gold
right,
pieces that you need to take them from 10 to 11. On top of the stun
right.
cuffs, Corbontes,
All that other stuff.
right?
Yeah,
I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I'm stepping away to the restroom. Just skip the next question for me. I'll be right back. Okay.
Okay, not a problem.
All right. All right.
Next question will go to you, Zylo. This is from Elliot Worsfold. Question: will I be able to get 7-star Chewie if I have a Gear 12 Zeta Bosk, Boba, and then Gear 10 Dengar, Greedo, and Cad Bane? Or do I need to bump the others up to Gear 11? What do you think there, Zylo?
Well, I like the comp for one because I didn't really use Cad Bane for the event. I used IG88, and then
Same.
so Cad Bane's gonna amplify your roster a little bit more. The gear, I like
fine.
Dengar's gear. Greedo, I mean, you can gear him up a little bit more. I didn't get mine to gear 12, but if you get a lot of crit chance and potency on there, crit chance, crit damage mods. He's doing pretty good. I like the gear, and I think he'd be fine.
Yeah.
I did both Zetas on boss, I think he'd be fine.
I didn't have Gear 12 for my boss, and you beat it. You have a Gear 12 Zeta boss, you're good. And you got Dengar 10, really good. Mine was 9. 9! So yeah, I think you're more than good, Elliot. You'll be fine. D Perks, next question. Question for the panel: is it true that Half Face was the one who leaked everything, and that's why the game changers don't have their accounts?
Let's not disseminate rumors about people.
I'm like, what? No, don't. We would not know. We're not in the game changing
No
program.
rumors.
We're not gonna know. It's really D Perks. It's Finn's fault. I mean, I believe.
That's right.
So, if anything, blame Finn. No, we have no idea what.
I have finished my mailing.
All right, so the mailing is done. The mailing has been completed. Now comes the ritual. Finn sacrificing himself to the gods. Or poor.
So, a Wednesday.
Yes. All right, next question from Helenix. Helenix says, question 1. What is Discord's largest Star Wars Galaxy Heroes Guild recruitment resource where players seeking a guild can find one in record time? Trick question is the Star Wars Guild recruitment Discord server. Okay, I see what you did there, Helenix. Goddamn. All right, Helenix. All right, cheap plug. There you go. All right, we plugged your Discord. It's actually a great site, guys. If you need anything. Let's see. Question 2. If anyone needs an invite to the for God's sakes, Helenix. If anyone needs an invite to the GRDS, our server is open to the entire Star Wars Galaxy Hero community. Hashtag shameless self promotion. Damn, I actually thought there was a question in there. Helenix.
Double plug.
Yeah, double plug. He got me. I was like, okay, well, that was the first thing he plugged, and then there'll be a question in part 2. There was not a question part 2. Mm-hmm.
Helenix, so funny.
Well played, sir. Well played indeed. Max Dog, question for Galactic. Or wait, was this? Oh, okay. So for Grand Arena, any good strategies for using less tunes on offense since you get bonus for doing that? I have not really thought about it. Zalo, are you giving this any thought? For him on your back, if you're giving this any thought?
I mean, they kind of worded it in the description, right? They made it extra points because it's a more high risk, high reward kind of thing, right? But I mean, maybe against like lower geared Phoenix teams, you could just throw like a decent leader in with Wampa or something like that, right? And then you get that third, fourth, fifth extra spot. Those are three spots that you can get those bonus points from, and that could win you the match right there. Just doing that one team.
Yeah.
But it also depends because I looked at the person's GP and roster that I was up against. It was Tobias the Great. He had a fairly decent roster compared to mine. A lot more Gear 12, especially on like his pilots. And then the only difference between our roster than he had more Gear 12 was that I had Revan and he didn't have Revan. And I think it still would have been a great match either way. And there's a lot of different team compositions, and I had to put 7 teams down on defense. So I'm right there with you. It's very consuming, putting the limited amount of teams down that you think will be good on defense and still having a good offensive roster. So it's going to be exciting to keep going through these waves and trying new team comps and defense and offensive comps as well. I like that. That was a great question too, though.
Yeah, Dylar's Twi'leks Tactics has something along the same line here. Question: setting 7 teams on defense at Green Arena seems like too much of a stretch to ensure an offense that will clear the board. Should someone set 2 weak defensive teams and hold more on offense? I kind of did that. I focused. I don't know how you did this, Xylo, but I focused really on what would I do in territory wars, and then I thought, what would Brian Boitano do? And then that really helped me set my, like, what would Brian Boitano do if he was in Green Arena? He said his team went 5-2. That's what Brian
Because that's
Boitano
what
would
Brian
do.
Boitano do.
Yeah, see. And then Finn
Yeah,
came,
I mean, I had
and then
fun
Finn
with it.
jumped
It
in.
was fun.
I'm just a little pork lover. Like, shut up, Finn. But
I'm so wrong.
no, Finn, that's not even the same damn. No, Finn, that's a wrong. Oh God.
There's no one, just me only.
Oh my God, Finn! It's like he's like echoing it too. So it's like it's like he's got
I
the
know.
spotlight
It's
on
like,
him.
yeah, it's like he's doing a beach thing.
No, I had fun with it though. I mean, like one of the teams I put down on defense, since we're working on the Ewoks and everything, I put some Ewoks down with Enfy's Nest. Just had some fun with it. You know what I mean? Like she's gaining turn meter on counters and her basic a lot, so it was fun to see what you could put down on defense and kind of think of what their next move would be. And it's a different aspect outside of territory wars in a sense, but only because it's a 1v1 thing. So.
All right. Next question. Let's see. Did I miss this? Okay, I refreshed it and it threw me off. Okay, here we go. Mouse Steph Isley question. With the return of the Chewy Legendary this month, OTMF is probably not far off. Do you think it'll be a legendary event? And if so, what do you think will be required to get the OTMF? And that's the old school Millennium Falcon. Original trilogy Millennium Falcon. I have no idea how they're going to do that event. If it ships, I'm not a big fan of ships. I do them. I do collect them. I mean,
Can I guess?
yes. Oh, okay. Finn wants to guess. Oh, goody.
We now have 4 bounty hunter ships that are available free to play. We have also only 3 ships that are required in the lineup. And so I can easily see Millennium Falcon requiring bounty hunter only ships and a minimum of 3 7-star ships, meaning that you should be working on your Xanadu Blood and IG 2000. It would be my guess. Now, if you're focusing on something else, go for it. But this is just assuming.
Do you think Slave 1 will be a part of that?
What was that?
Do you think Slave 1 will be a part of that mix?
Yes. I think Slave 1 is the one that a lot of people will have, because typically in the Legendary, there's usually about 1 character that a lot of people have had because it's the longest available character. And so I think Slave 1 is one that a lot of people have. I think a lot of people hopefully have been working on Houndstooth since it became free to play. And then afterwards, it's either Xanadu Blood or IG 2000. And probably moving forward, you're going to have it so that they're going to release, and I can't remember the name of it now, Dengar ship. So over time, the event will be easier because there may be 5, 6 ships if Zam Wessel gets a ship and whatnot. I think eventually the event's going to get easier and easier, but right now there's going to be 4 bounty hunter ships. All 4 are free to play accessible, and so you should be working on those would be my guess.
Any thoughts on that, Xylo? I guess Xylo doesn't want to say. Xylo, take down.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Sorry, the mute was like weird. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I mean, bounty hunters, they're gonna cap it off some way, and the kind of reward the people who whaled out on the bounty hunter ships, and they're still capped out right now. Like, haven't even been free to play for 2 weeks, all of them. So yeah, it makes sense.
Remon, are you back yet?
I'm back.
All right. Next question from the one, Remon. The question is, what are your thoughts on Grand Arena and its original flop?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go ahead and call it a flop. It's a bug. There's some technical difficulties. Things happen like this in games, but I do think that I think it's a little disappointing for the first Grand Arena to be kind of. I was actually hyped up, right? I mean, because the first time you go into, I was like, all right, let me see. You're sitting there waiting to find out what teams he's going to post, and you pop in there. And I was a little busy yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to jump in as soon as the phase turned on. You know what I mean? So I had to wait till. I mean, I was yesterday was my birthday, so I was kind of I was out. I was out to having some dinner, and then I got back home around 9 o'clock, and I was like, all right, let me check out this Grand Arena and do these battles. And I get in there, and it's all of a sudden it's the preview phase again for the next day, and I'm like, what happened? And then I read some notes on Discord, and I found out that there was a bug and it reset and all this stuff. So I basically didn't get to see what teams he posted. I didn't get to see anything. So for me, it was kind of a bummer because I was really kind of expecting to, dive in and get a chance to try this out and see what the game mode is about. So in that respect, it stinks to not get a chance to try it out. But I think that ultimately people are going to be happy with the game mode. Again, it's just something that we were kind of discussing a little bit earlier. Is that I feel like if there's no character rewards, it's kind of a bummer. I feel like there's got to be something that really incentivizes you to strive to win these grand arenas. And if let's say you're in a group of 8, and out of that group of 8, the number 1 person maybe gets 10 shards for a character, and then the number 2 person gets 5 shards for a character, so on down the line. I feel like there would be a little bit more incentive to be that number 1 guy, and again, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a game breaking character. It doesn't have to be somebody who is huge. I mean, they could throw in Scout Trooper into the game or something like that, and just make him the reward, and that would be exciting enough for me. As long as he has a cool set of abilities, something that makes him an interesting unlock, a chase. I mean, whenever there's a raid that comes out, if there was no chase in a raid, like a character, I think there would be a lot less interest in that raid. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the same thing kind of goes with these game modes. And when they had territory battles that came out, you had the 2 characters that you could farm there with Wampa and Hermit Yoda. Obviously, Territory Wars adds the guild versus guild aspect. I kind of wish that there was a character in that area too. So, we'll see. But I mean, as far as initial impressions, yeah, it's disappointing for sure. It's just, we'll have to see how the first round goes now that they've reset it, and hopefully it works out well this time, and people are happy with it.
What are your thoughts on this, Silo?
Well, I totally agree with what Raymond was saying about not being able to get into the first season 0, right? I was at work all day yesterday, and I get off a little later, and I messaged the guy who I was paired with, and I was like, good luck to you, man. I hope this is gonna be fun. And 30 minutes later, I'm getting posts on Discord and all that stuff saying that it's getting reset and that, it doesn't count and this, that, and the other. So kind of bummed me out. And then to follow what Riemann was saying, the character, I'm sure there will be a character long term, right? We don't know all of the reward aspects from top to bottom. The fact too that this could also affect the matchmaking by the people that did get to battle and that have the victories and started the new quest that they put down for the winning your first 3 battles in the Grand Arena, right? So there's going to be also a difference in matchmaking now too, not just with the GP, but between the people with the rosters that did get a chance to go into the Grand Arena and get some battles under their belt, and there's players like us who didn't even get a chance to attempt the first season 0, and I'm still excited about it. I want to make sure that we're getting the rewards per battle, that we're getting all of the features out of this game mode if we're gonna take the extra time to play it, right? So yeah, I think it'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to the next round at least.
All right, next question. Go to you, Zylo. Question: What 7 did you set on defense, and what 7 did you save on offense?
Oh, I had some fun with it. So I kept Revan on offense. I think that's going to be the difference maker, is keeping him on offense, because if you throw him down on defense, then you don't have a better chance to win, right? Because if you're using Revan, he's more effective in your control as opposed to on defense. You can play him a little bit better, in my opinion. And then I went with some Sith. I went with the bounty hunters. I went with crew. And then my top 4, I went with the Ewoks, Chirpa Lead, Logray, Wicket, Elder, and Envy's Nest. I did an Old Ben lead with some Rebels, and more of a defensive team. And then when you're kind of at that point, I wanted to save more on offense, so I put down the Phoenix squad, and then I put down Darth Maul Sith team as well with some of my extra Sith, because I don't have his lead Zeta, and I'm not really going to use him on offense, right? So I kind of wanted to give it a good balance between a good defensive hold and to a point where they're going to have to put in some fair teams on offense to win, and then still having a good roster in my back pocket, like CLS lead with Chewie and Han, JTR, Finn lead, Emperor Palpatine lead. I kept my Thrawn in my back pocket so I can plug him in wherever. Imperial Troopers on offense is great. A lot of people are probably going to save their Ewoks on offense, unlike what I did, but I was just kind of having fun with it and enjoying the time with what we got right now. And Envy's Nest being a great fifth in any team, I thought it would have been a fun little team to put down on defense. And there's a couple of extra teams. It's all about like how your play style is, and what you like to use for your offense. Most people are going to keep their Sith on offense. I think the Triumvirate is going to be a great defensive team, though. And again, it's more towards your play style and what teams you like to use on offense, and what you feel like is more comfortable on your defense, and what do you think is going to get you the best overall points. And you also want to think about the health and protection. They're counting the points for that too. So winning the match at full health and full protection is going to be a difference maker too as well on your offense.
All right. And then we don't care what Finn thinks. All right, next question. Let me pull it up. Hold on. I am refreshing.
Why are you always so mean to Finity? Be nice to Finity.
Get the hell out of here, Remon. You don't deal with him on a daily basis like I do. And he's just as mean as everybody.
I blame Finn. That's why we're mean to
Darth
Finn.
Hideous wants to know, can we sell Finn? I would sell Finn. I don't think we're going to get I don't think we're going to get equal value on the black market. I don't know what you guys think, but I mean,
I think his value is priceless. Priceless.
keep kissing his ass.
Priceless, worthless, same thing.
Yeah. I mean, it all comes down.
See, look at this guy. He's like,
Affinity is a sweetheart. Okay.
No, he's really not. No,
that's a good dude right there. I'll
tell
you.
Listen, you don't know him like I know him.
I think
we're talking Sauron, evil, Lord of the Rings crap. You guys don't know.
I think you guys should just hug it out.
I've given Finn a hug before. I'm not ashamed to admit that. He's my brother from another mother.
They got that collab name now, right? Finger J 1999.
Yeah. We are locked in the hip. Oh my god. I will never be able to escape Pinnadoodle. Ever. Never. Oh god. Question for you, Remon, from Dojo-san. Question for Remon. You ever thought of doing a Remon remod series, going over mod tips and how to prioritize mod farming, slicing, and which characters to put the better mods on?
I have thought about it. You know, the problem with the remodding series is like it's really up. I mean, I guess that's kind of the case with anything, right? Like, I mean, it's up to interpretation. It's up to what you think is the best for that character. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I just feel like there's a lot of people that do those videos. That's kind of why originally I stopped doing the character reviews, because a lot of people started doing character reviews, and it was just like a very popular thing. Now that there's nobody doing character reviews, I kind of feel like going back to doing that a little bit. But because nobody does character reviews anymore.
No.
So the remodding series are pretty interesting, but it really depends on the game mode. So I mean, if you're going to do something like that, I feel like you'd have to kind of break it down based on where you're using the character. So there's a way to mod a character for arena. There's a way to mod a character for territory battles or PvE content, and there's the way to mod a character for raids. So I mean, you know, you have to kind of pay attention to all of that, and it's also going to depend on RNG, right? Because I mean, like, you know, it depends on what kind of quality mods you have. So not everybody's going to be able to mod a character the same way that I can, or vice versa. So, you know, it's definitely a thought, though. So I mean, like, if that's something that people would be interested in, for sure, I would do something like that. I've thought about it in the past, and it's one of those things where you know, I feel like if I went out there and I was like, oh, let's mod this guy for offense. You know, I mean, there's going to be people that have a counter argument to that and say, well, on, you know, in arena, I think you should mod this guy for speed. You know, or you know what. You know, so it's you know, it's everybody's going to always have a different opinion on it, but those videos are cool. So I mean, that's something I could definitely do. But again, I'm leaning more towards starting to do character reviews again. I think that's not something that people do very frequently anymore, and I think that'd be kind of an interesting. I think it'd be interesting to do some character reviews on some of the other characters that people don't really use that frequently, like maybe like a Cody character review, or you know, like a character, like characters that people don't use that much anymore. Or people that people don't really get frequently. I mean, you know, obviously nobody really cares about a Rose Tico character review, but I'm saying, like, you know, there's characters out there that aren't necessarily used that frequently that are really good. Like, I mean, like Amelin Haldo, for example. Like, I mean, she's a good
I love her.
character.
I'm about to star her ass. Are you kidding me? No, she's great.
She's a great character. Nobody really uses her or talks about her, but I think that there's a lot of value there. So I mean, that's
all right, Riemann. You talked me into. We'll start doing this series. I know you
if you want to do a video with me, Ranger, I'll do a video with you anytime. If you want to do a character
I'll
review,
do it. Let's start doing it, man. We'll call it Riemann Slaps Ranger character reviews.
Let's do it. I'll do one tonight. Let's go.
I'm down. We'll include Dr. Finn because Finn sucks. Let's see here. Yeah, let's get with afterwards. We'll start doing it. All right, Doges. We did that one. Hella, next question for Ranger: is Finn doing a Grande impression by calling in while driving? If so, is Finn also a big deal now? Lastly, will this cause a feud between El Papi Patron and our troll extraordinaire? Well, you know, this is an interesting scientific question. What? Oh God, it's begun. God, that's awful, Finn. Jesus. Oh, you have to do the what's up, what's up.
Raymond would appreciate that, I think.
Yeah. What's up, what's up, what's up? This is your boy, Lord Grande Vergo Patron, coming at you with the...
Where is Grande Patron? What happened?
He's super busy. No, he's had a couple kids sick this week, and there's a lot
He's a big deal.
Yeah, he's a big deal. I mean, he's the pull... He's CG carries pull boy. I don't know if you knew this, Ramon.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, and so he's a big deal. He's got a lot of big stuff going on. No, he's really busy with sick kids and stuff. So he's been kind of, you know, because while the wife's away, Grande has to take care of the sickies, and Curly Patron, and I think two of them are sick. So he's been really busy on dad duty. So, you know, Grande, he pops in when he pops in whenever he wants because he's such a big deal.
Yeah, it's been a long time, Grande.
Grande's again. I'll never escape Grande, just like I'll never escape Finn, ever. God. Oh my God. All right, guys, get your questions in. If you haven't, go ahead and get them in. Now is the time. All right, next question from Darkside Ranger J 1990. Oh Lord. Oh, he wants me to do Harry Carey. Hi everybody, Harry Carey here. Try our new perfume F Up, brought to you by CG. Or come watch me buy imaginary currency crystals for hundreds of dollars. Or as I call it, an investment. Now, Remo, that's what I call a road win.
That's awesome.
Hi! All right, let me see if there's some actual real question here. Oh my God. All right, Nathaniel Morgan, question for Ranger. Oh, okay. I have a Gear 12 Zeta and a Gear 12 Zeta Wampa. Should I gear up Tusken Shaman? And good morning, guard, to complete my dot team. You are a very bad man, Nathaniel Morgan. You're very bad. I'm not. Troll question. You know, I thought that was going to be a legit question, but it's not. Tusken Shaman and good morning, guard. Sure, why don't you just do Cup and Lobot? Throw in who else sucks? Just do the whole Jawas. Put the Zetas on everything. Do they even have a Zeta? God. I mean, if we're just wasting characters and stuff, why not?
I don't think the Jawas have any Zetas. No.
No. It's okay. We'll give him Zetas just for that guy.
At some point, the Jawas have to get a little bit of a hug, a digital hug. You know, so somebody's got to give them some love. You know, they're. You know, I really, really wanted them to be good. Like when they first dropped, like when they first dropped, like Chief Nebbit and Jawa Scavenger, I felt like that. You know, when they completed the 5, that there would actually be some decency there. You know, and it was cool for that event. I mean, to get them all geared up. But I actually wanted to like really run like a 5 Jawa team. I thought it would be awesome, and I mean, I don't think that there was ever a point where that would have worked out for me in a beneficial manner. So I mean, I don't know if they ever decide to kind of give the Jawas some love so that they could actually be. I mean, I don't necessarily ever think they'll be viable in arena, but maybe as like a TW defensive team or something like that, like somewhere you could use them somewhere else. That would be kind of cool. Maybe a nice Zeta for Chief Nebbit, or a Zeta for Dathcha or something like that. That would be cool.
Hey, Ranger.
Someone's here.
All right, sorry, I'm back.
I felt the disturbance in the maple syrup.
Oh, look,
TMG.
everybody. Look who it is.
Good morning.
I called it, didn't I, guys? She got up an hour late thinking that this was the time she was supposed to be on.
Well,
yes.
It's a little bit. I just stayed up too late and was like, what's going on? Jedi Academy.
Nah.
Yeah, I didn't realize what day it was. So sorry. I'm sorry. I love being here, and I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning, Team Money.
Hey, Team Money.
You can get your coffee and your maple syrup.
GM.
GM. CP. CP is Canadian person. I don't know if anybody knew that. I'm just knowing that. I created that. That's mine.
I don't know what GM is.
Good morning.
Oh yeah, GM for sure.
Great
GM.
Great mother.
GM. Great mother.
Yeah, you can go with that. What else could GM be?
Grandmaster.
Oh, Grandmaster.
Good one.
Grandmaster. That does work.
But it has to have an A on the end.
It means I blame Finn. They just spelled it wrong.
Yeah. Or it could be. No, that's cussing. I can't do that. All right, I'm out of things. See, Money, how's things going? How are things over there in the clean world of Canada?
It's good. It's good. We've all got nice, clean-cut haircuts, and everybody's opening doors for each other. It's
right.
it's good. Yeah, yeah.
How
Doing
you?
well.
How are your Ewoks?
They are great, actually. I have been panic farming them all week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in a very free-to-play style, I've been like refreshing the Wicket's hard node 4 times. 4 times.
4 times. Oh my god.
Yeah, all the way up to 200, and I've gone from I think it was 30 out of 85 to maybe 30 out of 100 in 5 days, baby. So it's totally doable.
Did you refresh the event today too?
No, I haven't done the event yet, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
There's 20 more for you right there.
20 more.
Oh, wonderful. What about low grade? I'm stuck on low grade right now. But I had them all at like Elder was 10, Tebow is 9, who I'm not planning on using, and then the rest of them were gear 6 or 5 at level 50, and I've got I did well a little bit on gear. I dropped $50 and have been plucking out the important little salvage pieces that I know that I'm never gonna get farming them on my own.
I heard you've been
projectors and stuff.
I've heard you've been refreshing the guild store too, looking for those low gray shards. So that's going to be your best bet. So
yeah, I have. I just did it 4 times and got him once. So
yeah, that's like a quarter. He's rarely there. He's going to be there like once out of the 4 store refreshes every day. So
yeah,
best of luck for that one, girl.
I need an inordinate amount of Fabritech datapad prototype pieces.
Yeah, same.
It's like ridiculous how many Fabritech data pads these guys take. It's like,
it's from 10 to 11
carbs.
Then you need 200 black eyeballs to get them 3 of them in total to get them from 10 to 11. That alone is ridiculous. It's
ridiculous. At gear 10, Ewok Elder needs 2 of them to get to gear 11, and it's like, and I needed one just now to get Ewok Scout to gear 12.
Right.
So it's like I'm down to like 18 of them again, and you can't get enough of these things. I mean, they're literally not. They're probably one of the more scarce things that pop up, like in the shard shop or in the other stores. Like they don't really pop up in the guild store or in the guild event store. So it's like, you really have to either farm them or buy them from the shipments, and they don't necessarily pop up in the shipments too frequently either to buy them. So it's kind of an annoying piece to get. So I mean, I've just been refreshing and farming them, but again, I think that the problem here is going to be the gear crunch more than anything else.
I'll put it to you this way: I had 250 Corbanti saved. I now have none.
Those are all gone.
I had 150 stun cuffs. Those are gone. I had stun guns. Those are gone. And they're not even gear 11.
I'll tell you, I started about like 2 weeks early. Okay, I really had a gut feeling that this was going to happen, and I was like, Ewoks are definitely what it's going to be. So I was like, I just started gearing up the Ewoks, and like people were looking at me in the guild chat, like, "What are you doing? Do you know something?" And I'm like, "No, I just have a feel." I could tell you. I mean, even as a game chat, they didn't tell us anything, but I just had a feeling that that it makes sense, right? I mean, like they haven't been used. There's the only faction that hadn't been used for anything, and they're the only faction that's tied to C-3PO that hadn't been used for anything, and it just made a lot of sense. So I started to work on it. So I'm a little bit. I think I'll be ready.
All right.
Well, and another thing too, to comment on the gear, like we're about to finish this territory battles, right? So exclusively for Ewoks,
the
then your guild store, yeah. So
the raids have been dropping specific pieces I've needed. I've been shocked. I'm like, what is happening? I need all this.
Your guild store currency, as long as you're sitting on 4 or 5 buys for the character. So if you're farming Logray, you can still buy gear around that, right? And then I've also been refreshing the shard shop, like Remon was saying, refreshing those for 25s every time I can. That it's rounding up the gear even faster. So it's going to be obtainable as long as you got them 7 stars already. You're good to go with the gear, in my opinion.
All right, T-Money, you ready for a question?
Yes, sir.
All right. How dare you call me sir? I work for a living, God damn it. All right, Hellenix, question for the panel. When trying to improve and increase one's mods, how should players go about doing this? What should a new player do versus a veteran player?
Well, okay, new player versus veteran player. So veteran players should be combing through their rosters for little nuggets of gold. I asked for a second opinion yesterday, and my friend Cast from the guild went through, and he's like, "Oh, look at all these lovely arrows." So I sliced a bunch of arrows and got some juicy gold ones at 7% critical chance and 100% offense, on the same arrow. So it's really going through and looking at your greens, blues, and purples and seeing what's in there. So if anything that's 15 or below should be sliced, so any 15, and then all the way down to, I've gone down to 6s for my greens now. I've really exhausted a lot of what I have. So I'm starting now because I've kind of gone through a lot of it. I've now gone back into the mod shop and I've been farming mods to see what else I can get. There are lots of people who are, addicted to this mod farming, who are taking up white mods and green mods and getting, 25 speed on those guys. So if you have a white mod that's at 4 or 5, you can do that first little cheap, mod purchase if you've got a plethora of credits, which I don't right now, and see if it rolls. And so that's kind of what you're doing as a mid to late game player. I've mentioned before, you should have about 1 double-digit speed mod for 20,000 GP. So for my roster of 3.6, I have I'm closing in on 200. Then for new players, it's really building up your base, kind of getting through all of the mod battles until you can get to the 5-dot mods, and then, farming the 5-dot mods, buying them out of the shop, going in there every day. If I'm really looking for mods and really trying to build up my inventory, I'm refreshing the mod shop 5 times, 6 times, and looking in there every single refresh to try and find something, because it's going to take you about 20 refreshes to find a mod that's a nice mod with solid secondaries and a good primary on a good set. And that's really what you want. You want to play the long game here. You don't want to just kind of impulse buy things like me and kind of end up with a bunch of mods where you're like, ugh, why do I have so many mods with defense percentage and flat defense on them?
All right, there you go. Next question from Captain Obvious. Question: why does Grande have Patron title in his in-game? Well, because he's a big deal. I don't understand. It's Grande frickin' Patron. I mean, they stole that from him. I mean, next question. Doja Sun. Remon, Zyla, let's give you this one. Question from Doja Sun. Question: is it worth theory crafting on teens for C-3PO when we don't have his kit released yet? Also, do you think C-3PO will lead to Jedi Luke this next year?
Oh, yeah. Obviously, you can't theory craft a character without the kit, so there's that.
He's going to be support. We know that. I mean, he's not going to be an attacker.
I think what they're going to aim for from CG's perspective is the team comp is going to be CLS, Chewie, Han, R2, and C-3PO, right? Because those are the core iconic original trilogy characters. And I mean, R2 and C-3PO are going to have some synergy together. R2 does his thing with the team already. I really hope they give C-3PO, just kind of going off topic here, I really hope they give him the resistance tag too as well. I mean, it would make sense, right? He was a resistance character too, as well as R2, and R2 does have the resistance tag. And then following the second question, I'm not sure. What was the second question again?
It says, why are you not paying attention when I read questions to you?
I like rambling.
Okay. Also, do you think C-3PO will lead to Jedi Luke next year?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. right? I mean, we've been talking about that before they even announced C-3PO was coming, right? Or we speculated, some characters in game that could get him, but they're gonna release more characters for Luke's journey, and C-3PO seems to be more than fitting for one of them. So yeah.
How stoked are you guys about the fact that they made Jango Fett where Houndstooth is instead
I
of
love
freaking
that.
Stormtrooper?
I'm farming the
so-
hell out of that. Are you kidding me?
I'm so excited about that.
And
It's
the gear
ridiculous.
there.
Yeah, the gear too. Oh yeah, I farmed
all
the
day.
snot out of that note. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah.
Ramon, though, you have to tease good old Maurice because he just finished, like, the day before they made that change. He got his Houndstooth to 7-star, yeah. And he's a little bit pouty about that one.
That stinks, yeah.
Oh man.
So every time we see good old Maurice, we have like, hey, good old Maurice, how's your Houndstooth going?
How about that
you're
7-star
down.
Ask
Houndstooth?
how his
yeah.
Django is. Ask how his Django is. That's the problem because he really wanted to farm him.
Did he at least get the $10 pack for him? He's 4-star, or
Probably, yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! All right. Next question for you, Riemann from Helen. Next question from Riemann. What is your favorite squad to run on offense or territory wars?
Revan. But if we're trying to be creative here, I think that the best offensive squad for territory wars is Night Sisters. Because I mean they really counter almost any team in the game. So if you're fighting, if you're talking about the best team to save for offense, I think obviously Revan is the best offensive team in the game at the moment. So if you're not setting him on defense, then he's somebody that you can definitely win any battle with on offense. But if you're talking about if you're talking about a team that provides you more value on offense than on defense, I would say or better value on offense than on defense. I'd say the Night Sisters, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you can use the Night Sisters on defense, but you need something to add with it, like a Zeres or a Nest, to make it to where you just can't. Because if you don't have that, you just go in there with the trooper team. It's like, wee, death, wee.
Right, and they're also a lesser used team, so you could take out a Night Sister team with like a trooper team, and then basically you're basically playing to their benefit because now they were able to utilize a lesser used team to take out one of your walls.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. All right. Next question. To you, Team Money Max Dogs. Question: with the changes to Nest, is she better to use on offense or defense? Oh.
Well, Nest you can still use to take down Revan. You just can't use her with the super duper cheesy, like the aged cheddar squad that was Kira Lead, Nest, and Hermit Yoda. So that little mini triumvirate of destruction no longer works versus Revan. Nest I used that and I have recently built a Rey team to beat Revan because that team no longer worked. You'd get to the second mark and then Nest would just go down nicely like any other character. So you can build Maul teams. I haven't run, but there's no reason that they wouldn't work in the same manner as the Rey team. The Rey team is very, very difficult to mod because you have to utilize BB-8's unique and get R2 and BB-8 fast enough to pull Rey along and get on top of the Revan squad because they can't go before you. If they go before you, it's like comical. It's like some comedic music, playing while they all just get completely mowed over. So modding that is really particular, and it's tricky. Like it's very, very tricky. And then once you mod your team, you're going to probably use your second best speed mods after your arena team for that team, and then you're going to be limited as to how fast of a Revan you can take down. So I think my limit is 305 speed, and then with quite a slow Grandmaster Yoda as well.
All right. We got a couple questions for the old maple syrup loving person, Team Money here. So we'll let you get caught up since it was just all us for the first hour. I'm not saying anything, Team Money, but
That's a maple sausage party.
Uh, Dogerston, question for T. How are you feeling about people putting Zetas on Chirpa League before we know the difficulty of the event? The Zeta count is at 13,591 this AM.
Well, I kind of like it because Dojison's been like sending me updates and it's cool to watch. I don't recommend it though. I mean,
like he's like on a desert island, like day 5, watching the Zeta count rise. I'm out of food and water. I don't know how I'm going to survive. I keep Team Money updated, but she's just running around naked through nature. So I just keep track of all the Zetas. I can't do it anymore.
I mean, when we look at that and we look at thousands of people, what did it start at? 8,800? And what did he say it's at now?
13,591.
So from 8,800 to 13,000, that is, four to 5,000 people who are going to be completely irate if that Zeta becomes redundant with C3PO on that team. So we're probably safe. Kind of when you look at something, you're like, ooh, that would really, really, really that would make an angry mob. So probably safe to Zeta them. I have been saying don't. I am not going to, though I am putting gear on my characters because for me, with the bounty hunters, I didn't want to raise up. I had some bounty hunters. I didn't want to do Greedo. I didn't want to do Dengar. Yes, I know I should do Dengar, but so I just kind of worked with what I had for the most part there. But with these guys, I'm just going to finish my Ewoks. So I'm imagining that's what a lot of people are doing. They're just like, okay, it's time. Here we go. Let's do our Ewoks.
Yeah, I did. So. I put the Zeta on Sherpa. I think you did too as well, Xylo.
No, I'm trying to go Zeta list. Like I have the Zeta in my back
son
pocket,
of a...
but I have the Zeta in my back pocket. I'm like right in the middle of both of this conversation. I want to do it without the Zeta if possible, but I do think it's going to cost the Zeta. So I'm just waiting and I'm trying to save it because Zetas are, the dime a dozen, right? You want to make them last. You want to put them where you want them to really affect your roster.
Yeah, I'm about to have
I think they're the opposite of the dime a dozen, but yes. They're like $1 billion.
I'm just starting to get back on top of my shard again on arenas, so I'll get back up there, which is soon, T. But
I don't think it's such a bad investment. I mean, again, even though it may not necessarily be the best team in the world, bear in mind that you can once you put that Zeta on Chirpa, I mean, you now have, I mean, it's a leader Zeta, right? So it affects 5 characters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's also something you could use in TW, or TV. So I mean, if you can utilize an extra team on offense in TW, to help you take out some lesser teams, it can help out. I mean, I'm pretty sure you could probably take out a first order team with the Ewoks if you do it right.
Oh yeah, you can take out like CLS, bounty hunters. They have a lot of counters on territory wars, and that'd be the one reason I would put the Zeta on him for sure. And I do love me some TW. So.
All right. Next question from Helix for UT Money. Question for my favorite Canadian Team Money. I've heard that when Canadian babies are born, they pop directly out from waist-deep snowdrifts. Is this where Canadian babies come from? # maple syrup for the win.
Yes, Helenix must be on my Twitter. It's just a little viral video of someone throwing a adorable little 6-month-old baby into 2 feet of snow and then reversing the footage so it looks like they're coming out of the snow and into their arms, which is probably really abusive and naughty, but funny also.
Oh my god. Helenix for a question for me. Question for Ranger. I have all my Old Republic tunes at 7 stars except for T3M4. He was at 6 out of 100. Is my Old Republic farming progress good? And anticipation for the next fake Revan release? Yeah, you're right on target. I think I've got missions. She's halfway there. Zalbar, I think, is near 40 out of 100. I haven't done T3. He's only 8 out of 100, but I should have the other 2 finished up here soon, especially mission, because I'm refreshing. I had a crap pull today. It was the first time in a long time. I only got 1 shard. I was like, what the f-? I was like, oh my god, really? So if I stay on playing the next 4 or 5 days, she'll be done, and then T3 will be even faster because you're just getting more pulls for the same amount of energy that I'm using. So he'll go quick, and then just finishing Zalbar, but between the ship energy and stuff, yeah. But you're well ahead of the curve. Keep rocking and rolling in the free world. Freedom. Next question. We'll go to you, Xylo. Freedom wants to know. Good morning. If it's not too late, question. Any of the newer droids worth a Zeta or two?
Yeah, I like T3M4. His unique. What was it? Let me pull it up here. Oh man, I was right in the middle of the Thrawn event too.
How
Let me
dare
go back
you?
here.
How dare you?
I know, right? How dare play the game? T3 here. The other Zeta 2 around T3s would be IPD for the territory battles, and then your Imperial team, right? L3 is a good one too. Makes L3 really tanky. L3 is right here at first time each other droid ally reduces to 1% health. They equalize health with L3, so L3 kind of is the cleanser healer for that team if you're going to go that route. And then let's pull up T3s here. The Master Gearhead droid allies gain 100% of T3's defensive penetration, so it basically makes all the droids hit way harder. And then his second Zeta 2 as well is combat logic upgrade, as add droid allies also gain 8% potency and critical hit chance when T3 uses an ability. Also, droid allies have 8% critical damage for each debuff enemy on the team. So both Zetas make T3 hit like a truck. And I mean, T3 is going to be the plug-and-play droid for whatever droid meta team comes up. So if you're going to invest any Zetas, those two right there for T3. And then obviously R2-D2 and BB-8 are two great Zetas that you probably already have and don't need me to recommend those two.
No,
so.
no. All right. Next question for you, Riemann, from Apparingo. Question: just unlocked Treya, and for Revan, I'm using BF and no issues. I have more issues with mirror matches. What's the best team to face Treya's, and which one to leave in defense in general?
Well, again, I mean, I'm gonna say Night Sisters are a pretty good team that can take down Treya. So he's saying that he uses BF. What's BF?
Best of the Fallen.
Right.
Yeah, Fallen.
So he's using his Treya team to basically take out the Revan squads, and now he wants to know what other team he can use to take out the Treya squads.
Yeah, and which one to leave on defense. You know, which one to face Treya's and which one to leave on defense.
I think that you could take out a decent Treya team with a decent Night Sister team. But also you can.
What comp are you using for that? I cannot do that, and my Night Sisters are beautiful.
I think that if you're I've done it before. So I mean, if you're talking about a Talzin lead, and you can stick Plague on them, right? That doesn't Plague actually work on the Sith?
With no, because they heal so much.
They remove it too. Revan and Jedi are a different story.
They can't remove it, but they just heal.
I remember. No, I'm not. Again, I'm not. I don't necessarily use this personally, but I'm saying I remember that Maurice and I we were doing testing on the test account where you could use Plague as like a mechanic to kind of nullify Treya.
Yeah, because you can lock her buffs on. That's really useful. You can lock her buffs on there because Plague locks the buffs on. Yeah.
Okay, so another alternative, is, I mean, obviously you can use a Revan squad to take them out, but I think you can win with a good Rey Jedi training team as well. So
yeah, JTR can beat a Treya team if it's fast enough and stuff.
So, I mean, I see guys in Arena that win with Rage Jedi training teams all the time, and they're not. I mean, they're not necessarily climbing up, and again, they're not climbing up to rank one, but they take out Trey squads. And the thing is, again, it's going to depend on how well modded that team is. If you have a really well modded Trey team, it's going to obviously be more difficult. But I would say that if you have a Rage Jedi training team that's well modded and there's a decent amount of potency on that team so that they can stick the exposes. And I would say, you're going to probably want to have, you're going to have R2, BB-8s, Rage Jedi training, probably Ray Scavenger, or maybe even a really fast Poe. And I think that team could work.
So so here's the thing with mirror teams. It's really, it's not so much that if you're facing a mirror team, it's just the first thing I always do, and I get a lot of mirror matches with Treya, I fracture Scion, or not for Scion, but Nihilus, isolate Nihilus, and then I burn. Like the first person I burn is their Thrawn. Now if they're using Nest and have Thrawn, then there's a certain way you can manipulate the match to where you win, because as long as you can get Nihilus off and it's a big thing, getting Nihilus off the field. And if he's fractured and he's isolated, you don't have to worry about that. You can go burn Treya. If not, then just how you manipulate the match is really all it is. Do not leave Bastila Fallen on defense ever, never, ever, ever, ever. I would put in like a Sith tank or Sith trooper in there, or have your team be like Treya, Nihilus, Scion, Palpatine for Reventines, because it is with like Thrawn, or you can go Thrawn Nest, you can go Trooper Thrawn, Trooper Nest. I mean, something like that on defense gives you a better chance. It's still not a great chance, especially with all the Revens running around, but that's how it is. And then on offense, just knowing how to manipulate and who to take out first. Mirror matches are not hard. It's just knowing the order and how to take them out.
Well, just to throw two other options out there. You could also beat a Treya team with a Palpatine team if you have the leftover pieces to do that.
Sure.
And you can also, not like it's going to happen every time, but I'd say like 1 out of 3 if you don't have Revan, but you do have Bastila Shan, and you have a Zeta on her leader, you can use a Bastila lead and beat a Treya team also.
Yeah, that one video of the Zeta Finn that was it Broda he put out? It shows this Zeta Finn, Poe, and Trooper taking out a full Treya team in Arena. It was like, God dang, it can be done. So there are ways to get around it. All right. Next question for Team Money. This is from Darthea's question. For my favorite Canadian, what are your thoughts on Grand Arena? Quotation. Outside of it being completely broken. End quotation.
I think we got to get you guys introduced to a few more Canadians. I'm just gonna say that, but
do you know of any? There's only like 6 of you or something. I don't know.
I am so excited about Grand Arena. The fact that they took away the bonuses was, for just a very brief moment, disappointing, because there wasn't kind of this additional strategic consideration. But they actually did put bonuses in Grand Arena. Huge bonuses. Well, not huge, but big bonuses for protection, recovery, and healing characters. So if you go like right into Grand Arena and click right on the field, it'll pop up the little thing that says, 0 of like question mark squads, and there's a little eye in the corner. If you tap on that, oh my goodness, the amount of information that's in there. So you get extra points for going in short, you get extra points for having full protection, full health. What else do you get full points for? Of course, finishing, taking everybody down on the first hit. It's quite a significant difference. It's not 20 for the first and 15 for the second. It's 45 for the first, and I think 25 for the second. So it's a whole new ball game in there. My brain is really hurting at trying to wrap my head around it, and it's fun, and it's a whole new kind of angle with regards to our community, we have a really interesting and close group of gamers in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, people who are really involved with, listening to streams, everybody here who's been listening for, whether it's the first time or years. And we're going to start playing each other in these battles, and we'll continue to help each other with what worked, what didn't, and improving each other's rosters. So I'm over the moon with it. It's like territory wars. You can't really share your guild strategy, or you should not be. But for this, it's like your individual personal strategy, and we can share, we can help each other. So it's interesting. It kind of opens the community up again, I think.
All right.
Hey T, I had a question too, real quick. Did you get to do any of your battles, or?
Not one. When
Not
I heard
one?
they were resetting,
Man.
I sprinted over. I was like,
No.
And it was like, there is no Grand Arena open right now. I was like, son of a gun.
Well,
I was at a
Except
pretty
she didn't say
significant
gun.
advantage with my mods, so I was. It would have been very. And the person I was facing placed Revan and didn't have a Revan takedown team other than Revan. So I was like, oh, sweetie, no.
Well, see, the reason I asked was because, the achievement that they put down for winning the first 3 battles, you get some good mod salvage for that, right? And I was just curious to see what the next tier of rewards for that would be, and if anyone has that information or anything like that.
Yeah, we were talking about it last night. I was on the Shattered Order podcast last night, and they Wink had got it, and it's like you have to stun someone 10 times, and what else was it? Like, there's another thing, daze someone. It was like little abilities, but very
Debuffing.
achievable. Yeah, it was like debuffing kind of thing. It was like very achievable within your next
couple rounds.
Yeah,
especially if it's going to be a week-long thing, right? We're going to have more than one round, and this is kind of like a soft open for it. So I was just really curious about that. I was really curious about the rewards in general.
Yeah, these aren't the final rewards. These are just
like filler rewards. Yeah,
these are the other rewards.
These are supposed to be the rewards for the first round going forward. Mm-hmm. They're not like the final rewards. I think they're going to give us something interesting. I don't know if it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a character. I think that's going to be a little bit too much.
Maybe down the road. Yeah.
Maybe down the road. Maybe they'll put a shop in or something, depending on its popularity. But it's very polarizing. Not everybody likes this game mode, and so they'll give it to the people who like it, and then for the people who don't want to participate as much, there'll still be incentives to just go in and hang out and do what you want to do,
This always happens too when a new game mode comes out, right? Like, everybody's opposed to it for a majority of the group because it's a new game mode, it's change. People don't like change, but after a while, it'll be something that everybody will become acclimated to and get accustomed to. And, I like the fact that, it's going to be based on per match. Like, the one thing with the error code that I was mentioning earlier when we first started is, you were getting the error code every match that you won, right? And you're supposed to get rewards per match victory too as well. So that was kind of something that I'm sure everybody was a little disappointed about, and something that's kind of falling through the cracks right now. And we'll see this next round.
All right. Next question. We'll go to you, Xylo from Aperingo. How was your question for the panel? How was your matchmaking for the failed Grand Arena? Most of my guild got good matches over weaker opponents. Only one got the other way. Sorry if you've already discussed this. I mean, I was right on. I think the matchmaking has been really good. I mean, I was within like a couple thousand of my opponent.
Yeah, same. I mean, I had Revan, he didn't, and then the amount of Gear 12 that he had overlapped mine, but the matchmaking, I would say, was pretty on point.
Mm-hmm. I think we were all under that.
Me too. There's like the advantages are in mods. Go farm mods, guys.
That was the thing. I think my opponent, he had Revan. I did not. However, looking at his teams and stuff, he had a little bit more Gear 12s than I did. I think we're even on the Zetas and mods. Overall, I had more mods on my teams than he did, so it was really interesting. He hit a great roster. So for both of, it was going to be a hell. He cleared me on defense, which I felt bad for him because like, oh, you didn't get anything, buddy. That sucks. But I was going to clear him. I was getting ready to go clear him on offense, and I stopped because everybody started messaging like, "Don't do it. It's bugged." I'm like, oh, it. All right. Next question. We'll go to you, Remon, if you're back. He who is Remon.
I am ready.
Okay. Question from All Me. Question for Grand Arena: do you see CG auto deploying defenses for opponents? When your opponent doesn't deploy, you can complete GA quests and rewards.
That's an interesting thought. Honestly, I didn't even think about the fact that they wouldn't like actually participate, right? Like what would happen. Well, I could see them doing that. Yeah, or just default giving you the victory, right? I mean, has this happened yet? Like, has anybody seen what happened? Obviously, we don't know yet, right?
No,
So, I
we'll have
mean,
to wait.
Yeah, I think they're doing that's something that they've said that they're doing is if you as long as you said it the first time, and I know lots of people came in and they're like, oh, no one set defense, I waited 2 days for nothing, and but as long as you set defense the first time, it'll just continue to set that same defense time and time again. Which is great because I'm personally planning on forgetting about it a lot because that's just what I do.
Yeah, so it's team money for you. All right, let's start going through these questions. Captain Obvious, who else was Grand Arena yesterday? Wait a second. Who else was Grand Arena was bugged yesterday and got no points or credits toward quest? All of us. Just go ahead and answer that one. All right. What the hell? What the hell? Finn?
It's your co-part.
Son of a... Nathaniel Morgan. Let's see who hasn't. Back to you. T-Money. Has anyone tried Gamorrean Guard under Kira since he is a scoundrel? And can he provide more dots for mission and Z as well to be a secondary taunt for Z? What do you think about old Gamorrean Guard and the old scoundrel line there, T-Money?
Well, there are a lot of boys who like Gamorrean Guard. I'm sure there's lots of girls too, but I think there's a lot of fanboys who are like, "Yay, my like big green monster!" And he's, I don't think he's easy to gear. Sorry, that was very sexist of me, but there's a lot of people who are excited about Gamorrean Guard right now. He can definitely work as a tank on those teams, on the dot teams. We've got Karth, Kandris, Mission, Zalbar. Who else? I'm missing one. Under Kira, or there's not tons of leaderships, but there's a few different leaderships that they're going to work under, and Gamorrean Guard is absolutely a valid tank under that. He's not the best tank, but if you have a very deep roster, or if you are a very gung-ho fan of Gamorrean Guard, I think that this is the first time where there's any justification to farm him. So, again, there's other better tanks. I mean, Zalbar is amazing. Juhani is going to be really, really solid on those squads. But there's lots of folks in this game who are, dark side or what have you. So he's a valid option.
Dark side of the force.
Dark side.
All right, next question for you, Xylo, from Apropos Woon. Question: what's the best speed order for a Bastila team with General Kenobi, Hermit Yoda, Grandmaster Yoda, and Nest Ezra?
That's a mix. Well, I would say your GMY should be your fastest, and then probably Hermit Yoda following that, just because he's going to heal the team and he's going to give you that master's training to get that team going as well. Well, Empy's Nest, actually. I'm sorry, I totally passed over Empy's Nest. I heard Bastila, General Kenobi team. So you Nest is your engine. She's going to AoE days, then the Yodas, then Bastila, then General Kenobi in that order.
All right. Next question. We will go to Remon from Freedom. Question: follow up on best droid lineup. What is currently the best droid lineup? Thanks.
Okay, the best droid lineup is actually a Rey Jedi training droid lineup right now. And I would say it's Rey.
T3, BB8,
T3, BB8. I mean,
R2.
is R2 in there? Yeah, I'd say R2, and then probably L3.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots you could plug in that fifth, but L3 has been like the new
Pain
up and coming taunter for that team. Yeah.
I've beaten that team, but man, is that a pain in the ass team to beat. Good God.
Yeah. It used to be Chop in there, right? But
You can go Chopper, yeah.
L3 totally kicked Chopper to the curb out of that team, if you ask me. I mean,
yeah, easily.
You plug him back into your Phoenix team or, another Rebel tank team, yeah.
All right, next question for Team Money. This is from Two Fingers. Question for Miss Canadia. Can you go into more detail on the JTR squad to take down Revan? Is it a full resistance squad, mods, kill order, etc., etc., etc.?
Well, the mods I'm not going to be able to explain because I have to keep referring to my piece of paper. We're actually going to make a video on that. Probably not today, maybe tomorrow or the next day we'll have one out, but it's basically Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, and R2, and then Thrawn and Nest. And like the other Nest, cheese teams, I don't know if there's a cheese team, it's just a different way to mod Nest. You're putting no speed and all protection, all tenacity on Nest. Now, the tenacity on Nest is so that she can resist stuns from Bastila and Revan and reduce having her turn meter reduced. And not have her turn meter reduced so that she can counter and take the taunt off General Kenobi. This is sometimes very, very useful because she counters and then all of a sudden GK's taunt is gone. But then also she counters a lot and always crits. So she's probably like making his taunt go as much as she's not. So I'm going to ramble about this. Okay, so it's those 5 characters. Yeah, rah. So, the premise is you get BB-8 and R2 fast enough so that R2 can put his stealth on, can put Foresight on Nest and stealth everybody else. And then BB-8's just wiggling and forcing Illuminated Destiny to come as quickly as possible, using all your specials, and Rey's, mind tricksing. It depends on the speeds, but mind tricksing either Revan or Grandmaster Yoda, and just trying to control Grandmaster Yoda and Revan, like fracturing. Yeah, because Grandmaster Yoda will steal your stealth, and then you're just like, behind the 8 ball until he peeks out of there, and you hope to hell that Kenobi's not taunting at that moment. So it's a tricky team, but once you get it, you kind of like go in and you look at your Revan, and you're like, 305, I can beat that. And so it can still go sideways, but I think it can go sideways about as much as a Revan team versus Revan. You shush. You need a little spanking this morning.
I haven't had enough coffee.
I'm awake now. I can take you on.
He's been grumpy today, T.
I was vulnerable before, but I'm here now.
That's right. She's engaged. She's ready to rock and roll. The
Ship
maple
the
syrup
off.
and caffeine is kicking in, and I've got a fight on my hands. I'll be representing the U.S. of A., and she'll be representing Canadian, the communists. All right. Let's see here. A couple follow-up questions for you, Team Money, real quick, just fun ones. Kenneth asks, Team Money, have Nukin walked the plank on the MS maple syrup yet?
What?
Has Nukin walked the plank from the ship to MS maple syrup yet?
I feel like there's like a naughty innuendo there.
I don't think so. I think they just want you to kill Nukin.
They want me to kill Nukin. No.
He be trying to start a mutiny there, Captain T.
I think that's Nukin still talking about that list a couple weeks later.
Oh, yeah, no, Nukin's not on my list.
He's not worthy of the list,
but he's
Captain.
still not on there.
Captain T does not be needed to explain herself to you.
T-Money, what's your GP again?
3.66, almost 3.7.
All right. I was about to say I'd like getting matched up with you, but
no.
What's yours?
4.2.
Oh yeah.
Ways to go.
I hope they let us. I hope if we, God, I'm so arrogant. I'm probably going to lose every match, but I hope if we win lots, if people win lots, then they're going to be able to climb, and face people of higher GP, because I've had to really concentrate my roster, just playing in the guild that I'm playing in, and so I have a lot of. There's only I've only found a handful of players who have as many like mods per tunes and geared tunes per GP for my roster. I mean, there's lots of them, but
no fluff.
You be not
No
needed
fluff.
to
I don't have a lot of
explain
fluff in the
yourself
roster,
there, Team
no.
Money. You just run your team, Captain. We got you back.
Yeah, I totally get that though too, because it's always fun, going in as the underdog and getting that win. You know what I mean? So,
Xylo, you be quiet, you scallywag.
Brr.
Quit talking to Captain T like you know her. All right, next question for T real quick. Question for T Money. What was Finn's punishment for getting your love child territory TW delayed?
It was significant. Notice he's gone. He's not on here right now.
Yeah. Oh boy.
He's in a long time out.
Yeah, boy.
I'm fine. I'm fine with things that screw up in the game. Whenever anything screws up in the game, I'm like, oh yeah, everyone's getting rewards. I'm surprised we didn't get a few crystals, because there was a lot of people who were up in arms. But you have to. I mean, I don't know how to program a computer. I have no freaking clue if this is like
you guys are
people
lucky
being
she turns
competent or not.
Yeah, that's right. You're lucky she turns this shit on.
I really am. So like they're matching up, like Territory Wars, they're matching up. Yes, hundreds of thousands of people, probably, thousands anyway, in like all of these matches, like thousands of matches. But they're all of a sudden adding this layer where there's thousands and like tens of thousands of matches, and what they've presented to us is likely a scaled down version of the final. I think it's smart that they rolled it out just a little bit because you can see the problems that this, big, data kind of thinking thing that happens has caused. I'm sorry, this is completely stupid, but I'm maybe too compassionate, but I'm just like, of course things are going to go wrong. This is like a huge new thing. I don't know how many games have a mode like this. It's super cool. I think, we can just give them a little slack for, a few times. If this goes on for like weeks, like, no, I'm not going to be happy if I never get to do a bloody battle. but we still get mod salvage.
All right, Dojo-san, questions. I'll PM me on Discord after the stream. Okay. Helen says, question. It's not a question, just a statement. I love our Star Wars Galaxy Hero gaming community, and you guys are a big part of what makes the community awesome. Just want you each to know you're awesome, and we all appreciate your efforts. Is my nose brown? Yeah, but we love it. Thank you, Helen, for the kind words. What else? 73. Let's see here. Remon, question. Do you think being super focused is going to hurt someone more in Grand Arena since they won't have as many balanced teams to do both offense and defense as compared to being a collector?
Yes, I do. Actually, I think that,
Fluff GP will hurt you.
Yeah. You're By what do you mean by that? So you're saying like if you're somebody who kind of goes for all.
So let's say you and me are 3.8, but mine are really focused. I've worked on specific characters and mods, but you have more unlocks 7-star that are gear 8. I have less, but my tunes are higher gear 12, and I have the right tunes. You're gonna get raffle stomped. I don't care that we have 3.8 million.
Yes. The GP fluff is not going to help you. So yeah, if you're somebody who has the right teams, you're gonna dominate. Absolutely. There are, and I'm actually a pretty good example because I have a lower GP than the majority of my guild because I used to be I'm a sort of retired whale. I used to spend a lot of money in this game, and I haven't really spent that much money over the last year and a half, 2 years. I've still occasionally bought a character here and there, but for the most part, whenever a character comes out that I know is going to be essential in the game, I get them, and then I kind of try to forecast like what teams I should work on. So I even though I don't necessarily have the largest GP, I have every team that you could possibly need in this game.
Same.
So so I can put together any squad that I need to win in Territory Wars, any squad that I need to beat any phase in territory battles, or so I can put any raid team together that I need to. So it's always the only thing I need to work on really ever is mods. You know what I mean? So as long as I put the mod work in, or switch around mods, or take mods off other characters and put them on others, which I hate doing. But if I have
Mod
to do
loadouts,
that,
brother. You got to do them.
I know that's actually a huge benefit, being able to just use mod loadouts. But I hate taking mods off of the character.
I don't like it either, but it does make it significantly easier to do. And now that I have these loadouts done, if my Ewoks, even though they're going to be ready to go, I don't have the best mods on them. They're pretty decent, but if it comes down to mods, I'll be like, "Oh, right, you get trade mods, and you get this mod, and you get this mod. Let's go do this."
True, absolutely, yeah. But overall, yeah. I mean, just to answer the question, a focused person that has the right teams is always going to prevail, for sure.
All right. Next question, Zyle and Nathaniel Morgan. Question: why don't they use ELO rating like chess and scale rewards with your rating? This is necessarily for fair matchmaking and allows more skilled players to get better rewards. What do you think, Zilo?
Sorry. Can you repeat the question, Ranger?
I'm
so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry.
Where's my apprentice? Put him on. I have to talk to him about your death.
We're getting ready for his birthday party.
That's right. My apprentice. All right. I want you to force choke your father 3 times today for his insolence, and then I want you to throw him around the room. Maybe then he'll learn his place. No, why don't they use the ELO rating like chess and scale rewards with your rating? This is necessarily fair matchmaking and allows more skilled players to get better rewards. What do you think?
I mean, I could see that, but they've already said that they wouldn't give us like the algorithm, right? I mean, the matchmaking seems okay. I mean, like from a territory war aspect, there's been a lot of problems with the matchmaking, but for the Grand Arena, from what I've been hearing from community members and guild members and all that stuff, I think the matchmaking was really fair for Grand Arena. So, I mean, I think they're doing better with creating a new algorithm, and they're going to implement that towards territory wars. It's harder doing that for 8 players as opposed to 50 players, right? So, or 100 actually, when you're thinking about it that way. From territory wars, you got 100 players per round, and it's harder to be more precise with those numbers than it is between a 16 mini territory war, right? So, well, I think the matchmaking is improving, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think.
It's gotten better, yeah. All right, next question, rapid fire. Here we go. Michael J. Question: what is the best squad? What is the best Revan squad for defense, Team Money?
Defense on territory wars, defense in Grand Arena, or defense in Arena proper?
No, defense when you were going down the street to buy some maple syrup. What do you think?
Well, okay, so I think that there's still a lot to be said for having Bastila on the team for her passive buffs,
yes,
her actual buffs, and her the speed that she brings to Revan. Really, Revan teams, you can beat Revan teams without being faster than Revan, but having a Revan that is faster than you and a Grandmaster Yoda that has more offense than yours, and you're really behind the 8 ball. So you can though steal Bastila's buffs from the other side, so that's always fun. I think it is fun to play with Hermit Yoda because you have a little bit more control of your team. You just have to not be a dummy when you're playing that team, because you have to wait until Yoda steals your buffs in order to actually you can't wait because he's already in stealth. So yeah, anyway, you have to kind of control stealth there, or else you're just getting Grandmaster Yoda in stealth and then you're stealing back stealth and blah blah blah. But I think that the standard team is Jolie, Bastila, Revan, GK, and Grandmaster Yoda. And when you're talking about the ideal comp, you really want to ask what the ideal mods are. So you want your Grandmaster Yoda at over 6,000 special offense. His speed matters, but it doesn't matter as much as that 6,000 special offense is going to make a huge difference. If you have good secondaries on offense sets, you can even put an offense primary arrow on him. That's how much of a difference it makes. And then speed for Revan, health for Jolie, and crazy protection for General Kenobi, speed for Bastila.
Okay.
Ranger, real quick too.
No, we got rapid fire. Make it quick.
Real quick, yeah. I love Team Money's team, and then another one. If you're trying to save Bastila for defense, Qui-Gon Jinn's a great fifth because you can steal the buffs with your Yoda, and then he's also calling to assist, and it's another great fifth for that Jedi team.
Yep. Next one. Just 2 minutes. Remon. So turning off your GG profile does nothing to stop your opponent from seeing your squads. With the in-game ability to scout your enemy, now all that does is stop your guild from using TB and TW bots who manage those game mods. My PSA for the community is don't turn off your SWGOH GG profile, the more you know. From Helenix. That's not even a question, Helenix! Oh my god, I just read all that. It wasn't even a question.
I have something sneaky to say to that, though.
Oh!
Just for you guys listening.
Great point, Helenix.
Are you ready?
Yes.
It's my sneaky thing. It's not mine. Oh gosh, I can't remember who said it. I'll find out before our stream because I'll say this on our stream too. If you right as lock hits, then you go to your Revan and take a bunch of speed off him and make your Yoda all crappy and bring down the speed of your Stark and your Bosk, and then they don't know what you have, or they're gonna kind of assume the speeds that you have are the ones that they're going to have to beat, and then they can't.
No, because yeah, that's wrong, because I'll just find their ally code on GG, pop it into the old game, go look at their thing, oh, okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah, well, I'm still doing it. Hashtag.
It was evil T-Money, but not quite evil enough. It was the Diet Coke idea of evil. Just 1 calorie, not quite evil. Alright, next question for Remon. Question for the panel from Darth Hideous. With protection up now being based on Toon's current max HP versus their initial max HP, what is the best way to exploit Darth Nihilus' stacking health?
Wow. Is this on a Treya team?
Well, no. I don't know. Just give me the team.
So basically, now it's...
Yeah, it's just your canvas. Paint with it, brother.
Okay. Well, he has stacking health, but he doesn't have protection up, so I don't know how it relates to... I guess what...
Stack health, I guess, is the best way I would say for Nihilus.
Well, he doesn't have bonus protection.
No.
Sorry, he has he has a protection buff. He doesn't have bonus protection, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I don't really.
I hadn't really thought of this, and I don't know.
I don't really think I don't really think the question makes sense.
It's completely throwing me off to your ring. I'm like, wait, what is the best way to exploit it?
What I'm going to go ahead and say here is, it doesn't. Let's move on.
Okay, we'll get with you latest Hideous, because maybe we're just not understanding what you're saying. So
no. I would love to answer the question. I really don't. I don't know the answer, so I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So we'll get with you on this video. So, Kenneth. Question for Ranger: are Fox and First Order TIE Fighter pilot needed for the BB-8 event? So many Cantina farms for locking BB-8 and JTR at the same time. Thinking of running both Kyle's, Foss, Phasma, and First Order officer. That's all you need. So, caveat to getting BB-8: if you got the 2 Kyles, you're good. That's really, really, it's not that hard of an event. You just need 5 Gear 8 to Gear 9 First Order tunes. And if you've got any Zetas on Kylo Ren mask or Kylo Ren mask, especially as leader, you're good. You'll have no problem with the event. Now, First Order TIE Fighter pilot, especially First Order Executioner, come into play more in territory wars and territory battles because you need those tunes to make the First Order team work more efficiently. Not in someone. Who is that? Who is fighting the wind? Is that. Who is.
Sorry.
Listen, I've had enough of you. Put the apprentice on. I gotta talk to him. I gotta put an end to this crap. You're going down, Xylo. Oh, the force choking you're going to receive today, buddy. But yeah, you're fine with what you have. Just make sure they're decently geared. You'll get the BB-8 event, move on. But now, when you're looking to maybe round out your First Order team later on, Kenneth, that's when you want those guys. Next question. I've completely lost where I was. Oh my god. Aparingo question. Team and we'll go to you. Since Chewbacca's returning by the end of December, do you think Revan will come by the end of January?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think so. I did the calculations comparing when Jedi Knight Revan dropped to when when Bastila, when Jolie came, when Mission Zalbar and T3 dropped, and then kind of the cadence of when they were farmable, etc., etc. And then I compared that to when these new characters have dropped and got a date of February the 21st for Darth Revan. So I think that Jedi Knight Revan may be a requirement for that next stage in the journey, and so he'll come back before then. So that's end of January I think would be right on point.
All right. Let's see here. Xylo DB question around the corn with Ewoks in the next event what will be the next old faction for major event after bounty hunters and Ewoks? Any sense Jawas or Tuscans will be required for the money grab? Oh God, I hope not. Xylo, what do you think?
I've been stirring on this one for a little bit myself. Maybe the clones. That's the only thing I can think of because they're early.
So much, yeah.
And they're good. They're a good faction. They need love. So
they do need some love. My God, do they need some love? They are poop. They are really poop. Oh my God. Remon, Thomas Willingham question. With the bounty hunter ships all now farmable, do you think an event for the LT Falcon is near?
Yes, I do. I don't necessarily. I'm not sure 100% if it's going to be bounty hunter ships, though. I think it may be cargo ships. Also, so
yeah, I'd like that. Yeah.
So I mean, but it may be bounty hunter ships, and the only reason I don't think it's bounty hunter ships is because I don't think there's enough of them to really put a whole team out there. But then again,
you only need 3. So Houndstooth, Boba Fett, what else? The Cad Bane's got one. There's
the XB of the IG 2000.
You get there's some.
So just one reinforcement and three starters.
I think it's just going to be you need 3 ships. I don't think it's going to be a 7-ship event.
Yeah, because we've talked about it a little back and forth. Like, you can get away with 3, and then potentially they could release more bounty hunter ships down the road to make the event easier.
It's tough to say because we've never seen a legendary ship event before. Besides
right.
So I would say yes, that's totally feasible. I just feel like I'm not sure whether it would be bounty hunters or cargo ships. So it does make sense financially for it to be bounty hunter ships, though, because that would be the farm. So yeah, I mean, if it is bounty hunter ships, then yeah, I would say that's definitely the case, and I would definitely start farming them. That's going to be very difficult, though, because I do think that event is coming sooner rather than later. So I mean, if you're not already knee deep in farming some of these ships already, which are really hard in certain circumstances, like I know that getting some of these ships out of hard nodes is pretty difficult. So I mean, if you're not already started with this, you're probably not going to get it the first time.
All right.
But that's my opinion.
All right. Helenex, question for Ranger. Oh, okay. Have you seen my? Oh my God. Have you seen my latest video PSA on my channel? Shameless self promotion is shameless, isn't it? Derp, derpy, derp, derpy, derp. Love you, brother. Helenex, we need to have a little talking with me after this, but I'm going to kill you. All right, last question. We'll go to you, Team Money. Question. Now we think that special missions to get titles are just for vanity, but do you think that at some point they will become important? Like to get Jedi Luke, you need the title of Jedi Knight. Team Money, I'm just going to say this. They better not do this. I will chew their ass out like I've never chewed their ass out before. Your thoughts?
Why?
Because it's ridiculous.
I have to say that I haven't paid attention to the titles until we've got these little pretty profile pictures, and I was like, oh, what's the titles?
Wait, who's echoing? Who's echoing? I am going to kill somebody.
Okay, so I have figured out I think there will be probably compound titles. I think there already, is one title leads to another. I think there is something. I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to this question, but somebody was talking about once you have the Jedi Master title, then there's something else you can do. Yada yada. I figured out Darth Hidious's question, and it's just because I had no idea that this was happening, that I didn't understand what it was. I guess that when they fixed Nest, and this is a question that we had, like, did they just fix Nest because Nest was a threat to, their precious boy in white, or did they fix it all across the board? And they fixed it all across the board. So not only is bonus protection and protection up were both based on health. And so now Darth Nihilus's, when he gets protection up from Treya, vis-a-vis Isolate, he will have protection up based on his damn health pool at the moment. So Darth Nihilus sent me this screenshot of Nihilus with like 90% of his one protection up, but 90% of his protection bar is purple protection. So that's a big change. Like I've seen, I on the test account, I put Nihilus on auto against Ventress, and with all the debuffs and everything, he was getting, I think he was up into like a million health, like a million health. And so what's that going to be for protection up, right? So that's very interesting little dynamic that I didn't know. So thanks to Hideous for that one. I don't know what his question was, but
I do, and I'm going to answer it. So for me, look, the title things are cool and stuff, and if you want to do the quest, and some people enjoy those, I say go for it. Tying them into having to get a character, I think is ridiculous, because there's some things in there I find it boring. Some people enjoy it and find it exciting. It's no right or wrong answer if you like quests or not like quests. However, tying that into having to get a character to say get somebody like Jedi Luke, no, absolutely not. Because I don't want to have to go through, I need to do 3 battles on hard node 5e to kill this many. It's like, no, I do not want to be that kind of content forced down my throat. Plain and simple.
Oh, to have the title in order to get Jedi Luke.
Right.
Oh, no. We'd rebel.
No, we don't need no stinking titles.
We don't need these stinking titles. We would go crazy. No, I don't think that's
I'm not a huge fan of the titles, to be honest with you. I really don't.
Cool.
I mean, like, the only title that I would because you have no choice now but to pick a title. The only title that I even equip would be the one for Vader's Fist, because that actually means something for your team, because actually it's an accomplishment somewhat. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, getting 48 stars in dark side territory battles is pretty cool. But besides that, I mean, beating some sort of challenge, killing 70 clones in the game isn't really, to me, like I don't really think it's an accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I mean, I find, like, to me, accomplishments are like not what they are in this game right now. So I think that, like, taking rank 1 for 30 days straight. That would be a badge that I would love to have, right? Like, taking rank 1 every day at your payout for 30 days straight. That shows that like you're, maybe king of the arena or whatever. That would be a cool badge to have. Or back when they had tournaments, like, let's say you finished in the top 5 of let's say 10 tournaments or whatever, then you're like master of the tournaments. Like that would be a cool badge to have. Or finishing number 1 in a raid for 30 raids.
Yeah,
Or
they're
whatever.
cool titles. Don't get me wrong, they're cool, but I don't go out of my way.
What I'm saying is those would be cool. They don't have titles like that. Their titles are like for beating beating the Rebel Challenge. Or I mean, it's not like, I don't consider the titles. What you need to do to get the titles aren't real accomplishments in this game. So what I'm saying is, I think that if they were tied to like actual good, like real accomplishments, like if you were like let's say you're number 1 in the Grand Arena and you get like some sort of a badge for being the number 1 in the world, like Grand Arena player, like at one point, that would be a cool badge to have. Yeah, but other stuff, I don't really see the point.
Yeah.
There's those tags that you get that are like actual achievements, and there's the lackluster ones, right? Like I just got the Sith Smiter one a couple weeks ago, and I was really proud of that one. And you know what I mean? Like it seems like through the rest of that list, it's like that's the only one I really wanted to achieve, and at that point, it's like now I don't pay attention to them anymore again. But the quests, there are like the portraits for like the bounty hunters, for example. Like there's 7 tiers for the bounty hunters, right? And then I've also been kind of working on the Jedi quest too as well. And the second tier for the Jedi quest gives you an Omega for Gear 12 Anakin. So I mean, it's an Omega. That's like yay, one thing out of it. But I'm assuming like as you get through some of the quests, like towards the back end of the longer ones, like some of the rewards might be a little more. I don't want to say more worth the grind, but more. You're getting more Omegas and more crystals. That's about that.
All right. That's all the time for questions we have. So this is the time where we allow everybody to pimp their stuff. So we're going to start with Remon. Remon, what are you up to these days, buddy?
Well, I still do a live show every Sunday night with good old Maurice, and occasionally we have wonderful guests like T Money and Avanesh, and maybe one day Ranger will grace us with his presence on the show.
If we doing him at 1 o'clock in the goddamn morning.
If he can stay up late enough, he's a big boy. He can stay up till midnight.
I do. Right. Usually I'm doing schoolwork on Sunday. It's like, oh my god.
But yeah, I also still make videos, and you can see me on my channel, and also we're going to be me and Range are going to be starting this video series about doing character reviews, so you should look forward to that. And I think during the holidays now I have a lot more free time, so I'll be coming into some more time here to make some more content, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
All right. T Money.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, brother. T Money.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. It's always fun to be on your stream, Ramon. It's I always have fun with you guys. We actually went solo the other night without good old Maurice, which was fun because he got stuck without internet.
That was a party.
It was a party. So yes, good old Maurice and I have a channel called Operation Metaverse. We stream every Tuesday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we occasionally have little impromptu streams whenever content is released. We had some Ewok guests on, Angel Chiss, who you guys know in the chat as David Lee and his Ewok love, and then the Ewok dude who can take down Revan with Ewoks, and made some very well watched videos on that. So we try to have guests on and experts in the field to teach us and everybody else who's listening about their cool faction, things that we don't know and we'll never find out unless they tell us because they've spent so much time learning about them. We have a workshop series that we just launched on Grand Arena that starts on next Thursday. So after our next stream, Thursday night, there's a couple of sessions, and then next Saturday, there's a couple of sessions. So we'll have some fun with that. Grand Arena is called Grand Arena Devious Defense and Surgical Offense. So I'm doing the defense one, and good old Maurice is doing the offense, so counter teams and such. And then we have a couple of videos coming out. One, our first Build Your Own Squad video, which I'm very excited about, and then some videos on one or two, I haven't decided yet, on the Nest nerf and how to use her still.
All right, very nice. And then Zyla, where can folks check you out, my friend?
Yeah, check me out on YouTube, Takedown Games, Zyla Takedown. Got a couple of recent videos. I've also been starting up some live streams, trying to figure out a good time frame to consistently do the live streams. Trying to get some more people onto with the live stream, so there's some more interaction. Another way to interact with you guys.
You knucklehead.
Well, I told you the other week I got OBS going and situated, but I work 7 days a week too, and the little man's just turning 1, and it's hard time frame wise, but I'm trying to find more ways to interact with my viewers, and a lot of my viewers are the RSG viewers too. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me and subscribing to my channel. If you haven't checked it out, please do. I'd really appreciate it, and I always love hanging out with you guys and always being on the show with you guys too. So thank you.
All right. And then if you're watching this of course is the Reality Skewed Gamers. We do this every Saturday. This is Jedi Academy. Well, not every Saturday, but most Saturdays we do this. Now, next week I think will be the 14th. Let's see. Wait, when are we doing the next week will be our big. I can't believe it. Next week will be our big charity stream. I couldn't say that all of a sudden. So
my goodness,
Saturday,
already.
Yeah, and we are going to be looking to raise $15,000. We have some extraordinary gifts, guests, all kinds of stuff. We're going to be doing all kinds of games. We're going to be busy this week planning and coordinating that. So get ready for the 15th, guys. We're 10% out of our goal. Well, over 10%. Get in there. 20% of our goal, 15,000 that we're raising for the American Cancer Society. We will be doing the run in April of 2019, the half marathon. So we're raising money for that endeavor. We need everybody next Saturday, and we're going to be pimping the hell out of this next week, getting ready for this big event. We're going to have a lot of cool people on from CG and other places that are going to be supporting us. From the American Cancer Society, we'll have awesome guests on. And we're going to do the Jedi Academy as a part of the stream next week, so that's going to be really awesome. We got just a ton of cool stuff that we're going to be doing. So please be ready for that next weekend. So Jedi Academy will be in conjunction with, remember, Jedi Academy will be in conjunction with our charity stream. Now, if you'd like to see what we're doing, we have two sites. We have the Tiltify, just where we can just raise the money and stuff. But if you would like to donate directly, we do have the ACS site that's also linked, and you can just go directly there. If you're looking to help us support by matching with your company or organization, you can do that through the ACS site. We've had people ask us questions about that. So, but we also have, we got some awesome stuff. The lightsaber that we're giving, if you've not contributed, this lightsaber, it's sick. It's the Mary Jade lightsaber. It's a one-of-a-kind lightsaber that if you donate anything during the, from now until when we do the raffle on Saturday, you'll have a chance to win that amazing lightsaber. We got a ton of other stuff that we're giving away, games and items and just a whole bunch of stuff, and it's for cancer, and it's really important, so we need all your guys' support. Spread the word about the event. It's already posted, so next Saturday, be prepared. We're going to be a long day. We're excited. We're going to rock and roll. We're going to have a blast doing things. We're going to do D&D. We're going to do Galaxy Heroes. We'll do Battlefront. We're going to play some other games. Just amazing time, and we're going to look to blow. This year, when we did the AESPF, the suicide prevention, we raised over 10,000. I am confident that we're going to not only hit 15,000, but we're going to blow it out of the water. And,
absolutely.
And I am going to stream until we goddamn do it. If I die, it'll be for good cause, T Money. What happened to Ranger? He just tweaked out. Too much caffeine, sugar, and breakfast cereals in him. But it'll be worth it. So,
Are you still taking like physical donations as
yes,
well? If
yes,
people
absolutely.
want to donate like stuff?
Yeah, get with me and Finn. Or actually, get with Finn. He's coordinating all that. So if you want to do that, then get with Finn. Send Dr. Finn a message in Discord, and he'll coordinate all that. We've got all kinds of prizes. We've got Finn already has to Zeta Rose. There's a challenge for Warrior to pick his next Zeta, and Bodhi Rook is winning right now, which is not going to make Warrior happy. I can't wait to see what happens next Saturday.
Really
when
not
he,
happy about it.
Yeah, it's going to be beautiful. Go keep donating to Bodhi Rook. He wants Rose, but I'm like, no, get the pilot in there. Um, and the Faymock, the stream will start. It's already in there. So if you just go to the event, it's on there. I think it's 8 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, that will start that. So just get with, if you want to help out in any way, get with Dr. Finn. And T-Man, if you have something or anything you want to do, just get with Dr. Finn and we'll get you squared away. Make sure you give thumbs up to the video, not just our stuff, guys, and subscribe, but all these YouTubers. They take the time to be here to answer your questions on their own time and their own dime, to help you. Please support these guys, support us, but also support them. Go to the videos, give them thumbs up, watch their content. It really does matter, and we need your help to do that. So do that. So that's all I have for today. We got a video coming up here in about 45 minutes. We're going to have Mr. Gingivitis, the Solus One Insanely Red, is going to be doing some more Hitman, I believe. And we're going to get that rock and rolling here pretty soon. So be ready for the next video. And then tonight we're going to do some Heroes of the Storm. I don't know what time. It'll be a little bit later. And we'll knock that out. So on behalf of myself, the Jedi Council, the Academy, thank you guys for stopping in. Join our Discord if you have any more questions, and we will get those squared away. So everyone have a great rest of your day. And we will holler at you later. Peace.